President Pollock, we are gathered to celebrate commencement. The candidates for degrees of the Weill Cornell Medical College and the Weill Cornell Graduate School of Medical Sciences are assembled. The faculty, administrative officers, and guests are at their places. The assembly is hereby called to order.
I invite you to join me in prayer. Gracious and holy God, you create life from the dust of the earth, infused with your own breath. You breathe new life and meaning into our hearts and souls continually. You empower and inspire us with knowledge and skills to care for one another as we live our lives on this earth. Bless our gathering this day. Even though we are physically distanced, we are together in this celebration. May we recall your grace and kindness to these graduates as they reach this long-awaited goal. Let us celebrate the endings of the years of schooling, training, and internships these graduates have done to become doctors and caregivers. As they celebrate the ending of this phase of their life, we also celebrate the beginning of the new opportunities they have to continue to grow, develop, and serve your people. Empower us all to live lives worthy of the callings you offer, that we may strengthen one another and your people as we walk together with you through this life. In all the holy names of God we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Glover. Hello, class of 2020. Many congratulations on graduating from Weill Cornell Medicine. You have worked incredibly hard to complete your studies and earn your degrees. We are all extremely proud of you. Today marks a unique and momentous start to your careers as physicians, scientists, and healthcare leaders. For those of you receiving your medical degrees, you were the first class I welcomed to Weill Cornell Medicine at the White Coat Ceremony in 2016. And for the entire class of 2020, this is definitely the first time we have celebrated in an online forum like this. This moment in history is truly unprecedented. During the past 3 months in New York City, we have seen amazing heroism, resilience, and creativity from everyone at Weill Cornell Medicine, including all of you. All of us have pulled together and risen to challenges that no one could have predicted a year ago, and hopefully that we won't see again. As graduates of Weill Cornell Medicine, you have the potential to transform medicine and science long after the pandemic has passed. You've been trained in the distinctive culture of Weill Cornell Medicine, defined by the emphasis we place on academic experience, independent thinking, collaboration, and diversity. It's in your DNA. Now I challenge you to build on what you have learned to define the new world we all find ourselves in. You are leaders and innovators, full of integrity and ingenuity. Never have we needed those more than now. I'd like to offer 4 pieces of advice as you go forward. The first is to learn something new every single day. Medical and scientific knowledge are advancing at lightning speed. You owe it to your patients, your colleagues, and yourselves to keep up to date on the latest developments as best as you can. Second, use your skills to help people, not just to fight disease. Our work gains its greatest meaning from the connections we make and the compassion that we show to others. Try to have a positive impact on organizations, on society, and even humanity at large. Third, be committed to greater equity in medicine and science. As healthcare providers and researchers, you have an obligation to address health equity and the barriers that prevent some people from receiving the same high quality of care as others. Find opportunities to promote diversity and to bring together people from different backgrounds whenever you can. Finally, find a mentor and then be a mentor. Commit to sharing your knowledge, your idealism, and your expertise with the next generations so that together we can shape the future of medicine. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce Martha Pollack, President of Cornell University. Martha E. Pollack is the 14th President of Cornell University and Professor of Computer Science, Information Science, and Linguistics. She took office on April 17, 2017. As President, she is committed to sustaining and enhancing Cornell's academic distinction by building on its unique strengths as an Ivy League and land-grant university with exceptional breadth of expertise. She supports a culture of education verve, investing in new evidence-based approaches to teaching and learning. She works to develop important synergies among and within Cornell's campuses, building on the vision of One Cornell and capitalizing on the complementary strengths of our urban and rural campuses. Among her highest priorities is promoting Cornell's founding commitment to diversity and egalitarianism and fostering an inclusive community whose members consistently seek to communicate effectively across difference. President Pollack was previously Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs at the University of Michigan. She's a Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, the Association for Computing Machinery, and the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. She earned a bachelor's degree in linguistics at Dartmouth College and an MS and PhD in computer and information science at the University of Pennsylvania. Please welcome President Martha Pollack.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations, graduates. In a funny way, as so many of the rhythms and rituals of our lives have been disrupted or postponed, celebrating a milestone like this one feels even more meaningful than ever. We may not be together physically, but we are together across time and distance, celebrating together your great achievements as you receive your degrees at Weill Cornell Medicine. While I miss seeing all of you in person, I join your families and friends around the world in saying, I am so very proud of you all. I have to tell you that one of the highlights of my year is not just personally congratulating each graduate of Weill Cornell Medicine, but also getting to see the babies and the children of so many of our graduates who cross the Carnegie Hall stage with their parents. I do miss seeing them, but I know that they're watching, and they're probably happy to be able to run off and play when these speeches get boring. Today's graduation is for all of us a moment to cherish. Your class, the class of 2020, will always be a class like no other. 68 of you chose to graduate early, jumping into medicine with both feet during the most challenging moment our city has ever experienced. Others of you found different ways to contribute to the pandemic response while completing your academic year. But as much as this pandemic has been a part of your Weill Cornell Medicine experience, as much as it has shaped you, it will, I believe, in the long run, provide you with a foundation to do great things in your medical careers. And as much as the pandemic has already defined the year of 2020, it will not define the class of 2020. You are, and you will always be defined by your excellence, by what you have learned and achieved during and before your time at Weill Cornell Medicine, and by everything you will do to care, to discover, and to teach throughout your careers. I know you will do great things, and I am so proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Pollock. As Dean of the Weill Cornell Graduate School of Medical Sciences, I congratulate you, our extraordinary students, and the families and friends who've supported you on the journey just completed. While this commencement is unlike those that have come before, we all share your excitement at your accomplishments. We're celebrating the enormous promise you have shown and your important role now in communicating the importance of science to our society. Indeed, it has never been more apparent that science is vital. Through science, we will define the biology of the pandemic that is confronting us, illuminate the molecular mechanisms of COVID-19 infection, and identify its Achilles heel. We must and we will utilize science to put this pathogen in the rearview mirror. Even before this pandemic, you have focused on giving us new knowledge. You've become skillful in critical thinking, and you have taken great pleasure in being the first to explain a scientific mystery. As a class, you have published work in the highest impact journals and, most importantly, excel in teamwork across disciplinary boundaries. With these attributes, we are confident that you will uncover new discoveries that will better the lives of others. Already, you have made groundbreaking and monumental discoveries, unlocking the mysteries of immune surveillance, understanding the destructive nature of misfolded proteins, and manipulating our metabolism by altering our microbiomes. These are just a few of the examples of breakthroughs that will have an enormous impact on the health of our population. You are also critically important to our country because you have become proficient in science communication. In these challenging times, we hope that you will put these skills to good use, to use data to drive decisions, to engage the community with language that connects us and enlightens us. Use your clarity of thought and scientific persuasion to encourage a broad set of viewpoints from diverse stakeholders. You will rise to positions of prominence in academia, industry, healthcare, and business. Please use this power and your voice wisely. Already, you have demonstrated your altruism and dedication to others during this pandemic and throughout your graduate career here. Looking to the future, please help teach those who come after you and educate our society at large of the crushing impact of disparities on our collective health and lives. When you wonder aloud, why me? Why should I take on this responsibility? Challenge yourself by asking, who else but you, an articulate scientist, is more capable? In closing, I would like to thank your parents, partners, family, and friends for entrusting us in helping to mold your careers. Achieving a graduate degree in the sciences is a wonderful accomplishment. Come back and tell us the stories you are writing with your lives. We will be so proud. It's now my privilege to introduce today's graduate student commencement speaker, Pradeep Ambrose. Pradeep grew up outside of New York City and attended the University of Rochester, where he earned a bachelor's degree majoring in biology, chemistry, and history. Under the mentorship of Professors Charles Rice and Chris Mason, his research focused on characterizing how RNA viruses respond to selective pressures using next-generation genome sequencing technologies. Here, he applied these technologies to study mosquito-borne viruses, including Zika, hepatitis B drug resistance, and more recently, coronaviruses. Pradeep has played a central role in graduate school recruitment and mentorship. He will be staying at Cornell after graduation and will be entering a one-year MBA program at the Johnson Graduate School of Management as a recipient of Weill Cornell Medicine's Lee Family Scholarship. Pradeep.
Thank you, President Pollock, Dean Choi, Dean Hempstead, Dean Silver, faculty, fellow graduates, and esteemed guests. I'm extremely honored to represent my class and address you today. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I would like to thank all of you for joining us on this momentous occasion. I would like to acknowledge all of my fellow graduating students from the master's and doctoral programs. The physician assistant students will be frontline providers. The graduates from the master's in population health sciences, the executive MBA, MS in healthcare leadership, and computational biology are the next generation of healthcare leaders, tackling the rapidly changing healthcare landscape. The professionals in the clinical and translational investigation and the clinical epidemiology and health services research programs will design clinical trials for cutting-edge cures. My cohort, the doctoral students, will be the next generation of scientific leaders in biomedical research. We are quite an impressive bunch, and make no mistake, we are the new experts in our field. My hope for our class today is that you will remember the moments of grace, kindness, and scholarship you experienced at Weill Cornell and pay it forward to those who will now look up to you. I joined Weill Cornell for the superb research and academic environment, but as importantly, everyone I met embodied mentorship, academic rigor, and kindness. In my first meeting with my co-mentor Charlie Rice, I told him that I knew nothing about viruses, but I had read a 3-hour book on viruses and I thought they were interesting. He took me on anyway. In my first meeting with my co-mentor Chris Mason, I told him that I know nothing about next-generation DNA sequencing, but I'd read about it in my first-year classes, and it seemed exciting. He also let me join his lab. Because of the efforts of Dr. Rice and Dr. Mason, and those of my colleagues and collaborators, I'm now an expert on both viruses and sequencing, like all of you are in each of your fields. I hope that you all take a moment to reflect and thank those who've helped you on your journeys, and try to remember those moments as time goes on. For my next step, I'm pursuing an MBA at Cornell's Johnson School of Business to better understand the economics of drug development and healthcare. I believe the combined expertise gained during my PhD in virology and the development of targeted therapeutics with an MBA will allow me to have a great impact on the future of healthcare, biotechnology, and drug and vaccine development for infectious diseases. Wherever each of your career paths lead, you'll be able to harness your education here to impact human health. In conclusion, my hope for all you graduates is that we will reflect on our time here at Weill Cornell and use our experiences from here to fulfill our dreams. My congratulations to all the experts here today, and thank you to all the family, parents, grandparents, and friends who have supported us through our sometimes challenging, sometimes stressful, and sometimes also fun graduate education journeys. Thank you.
Thank you, Pradeep. President Pollock, I have the honor to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled the requirements and who are duly recommended by the faculty of the Weill Cornell Graduate School of Medical Sciences for the degree of Master of Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of Cornell University, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Master of Science with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Congratulations to all of our master's degree recipients. President Pollock, I have the honor to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled the requirements and who are duly recommended by the faculty of the Weill Cornell Graduate School of Medical Sciences for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of Cornell University, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Pradeep Ambrose, Noel Victoria Ontau, Alyssa Melanie Bagadian, Hanan Baker, Amridullah Balakrishnan, Ryan Elizabeth Blosky, Marjan Bozinowski, Caitlin Elizabeth Bergdorf, Maria Elizabeth Bustillo, Shi Chen, Andrew Cho, Hyung-woo Cho, Angela Chui, Ashley Jingyoung Chui, Rebecca Cox, Maitrang Huang Do, Melissa Deborah Docampo, Dylan Joseph Drakes, Sarah Eskreis Winkler, Maria Elizabeth Falzone, Gregory Michael Farber, Gabriel Arthur Fitzgerald, Sunyana Gadal, Mayur Mahavir Gadia, Theophorus Yeavrithis, Coriander Mari Gilvery, Nicole Lusgarten Wamich, Sudha Raghavali Gudakanda, Zachary Sean Hahn, Christopher Peter Horosco, Ming Jiang, Darren Christopher Johnson, Haeyoung Kim, Sean Ji Kim, Heejin Lee, Jacob L. Litke, Minwei Liu, Evangelia Loizu, Michaelin Claire Lux, Lauren Tate Merrock, Raul Julian Martinez McFarlane, Alexa McIntyre, Hillary Taylor Monaco, Jared Dedalis Moon, Xiaojing Mu, Pooja Naik, Nima Nick Nazari, Brian Zhuiang No, Shannon Christine Odell, Andre Pineda, Edwin Charles Pratt, Nora Claire Pienson, Andrea Rizzi, Arian Sebastian Rustenberg, Herman Alberto Sabio, Emma Maria Shatoff, Andrew Schomburg, Michelle Schwa Xiao, Priti Srinivasan, Lexi Sun, Bayu Tang, Akansha Verma, Meredith Wright Whitaker, Denali Wijewarna Surya, Jonathan Wiedstum, Angela M. Yu, Zoe Sejun Jo, Darlene Margaret Jo. Congratulations to all of our doctoral degree recipients. In 1997, the Graduate School established the Alumni Award of Distinction, given in recognition of outstanding contributions to biomedical research and education. Upon the recommendation of the Weill Cornell Graduate School Awards Committee, it is a pleasure to announce Cornelia Polyak, MD, PhD, as the recipient of the 2020 Weill Cornell Graduate School Distinguished Alumnus Award. Dr. Polyak received her MD in 1991 from the Albert Szent-Györgyi Medical University in Hungary, and her PhD in 1995 from Cornell University Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center for her work in the laboratory of Dr. Joan Massaguet. She completed a research fellowship in oncology at the Johns Hopkins Oncology Center, Baltimore, where she analyzed the mechanisms of p53-mediated cell death under the mentorship of Bert Vogelstein and Ken Kinsler. Joining Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in 1998, she focused her research on cancer genetics and the molecular basis of breast cancer. Dr. Polyak is currently Professor of Medicine, Department of Medical Oncology, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Harvard Medical School. She is a distinguished physician scientist whose research is dedicated to the molecular analysis of human breast cancer, focusing on three major areas: breast tumor evolution, the role of the tumor microenvironment in breast cancer, and epigenetics in breast cancer risk and tumor development, with the goal of identifying differences between normal and cancerous breast tissue. Dr. Polyak has published over 200 papers in numerous high-impact journals, such as Cancer Cell, Nature, Nature Communications, Nature Cell Biology, and Cancer Research. Dr. Polyak has received numerous awards, including the Paul Marks Prize for Cancer Research in 2011, the 2012 AACR Outstanding Investigator Award for Breast Cancer Research, and the Rosalind Franklin Award in 2016. She is a 2015 recipient of the NCI Outstanding Investigator Award and was named a 2019 Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science for her outstanding contributions to basic and translational research. Dr. Polyak has mentored a long line of students and postdocs who now have faculty positions around the world, exemplifying her commitment to training the next generation of scientists. Weill Cornell Graduate School is proud to bestow the honor of Distinguished Alumnus to Dr. Polyak. She is an outstanding representation of our graduate success. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Polyak.
And now it is my privilege to introduce our medical student commencement speaker, Jason Silberman. Jason came to Weill Cornell Medicine from the Washington University in St. Louis with a combined degree in philosophy, neuroscience, and psychology. Jason has contributed greatly to our community. He served as the director of Macho, a health-oriented outreach program with children in Harlem, as a senior clinician in the Weill Cornell Community Clinic, volunteered with Health for Life, and mentored his peers as a session leader in Community Perspectives in Medicine and as an OB-GYN clerkship peer-to-peer mentor. His research endeavors as a 2017 Atkins Scholar at the Hospital for Special Surgery and with our faculty at the Center for Reproductive Medicine have led to publications and national presentations. Jason is among the group of Class of 2020 students who graduated early, and this June he begins his residency in obstetrics and gynecology at the Brigham and Women's Hospital. It is my pleasure to welcome Jason Silberman to give the 2020 Weill Cornell Medicine commencement speech.
President Pollock, Dean Choi, Dean Kang, the Board of Overseers, and the faculty, I want to thank you for your tireless efforts on behalf of the student body as we navigated unprecedented events these past few months. To the class of 2020, congratulations, and thank you for the privilege of being the student speaker. Although the months of March, April, and May have lasted 3 years, we finally made it to this day. In my time in quarantine, a question has stuck with me. What does it mean to experience becoming a physician on a day like today? In order to better understand and answer that question, I want us to look back and reflect on the paths that we took to get here. Think back to your first memories at Cornell. For some of you, maybe it was suffering through a heat wave at camp or breaking some ice dancing on the boat cruise. For others, perhaps it was the frustration that your roommate in Olin never remembered to unlock your side of the bathroom door. While we arrived at Cornell ready to attend classes, learn, and take in as much as we could, our internal drive to give and provide for others was powerful. And as we moved into our clerkship year, it was that drive that provided a lasting impact on our patients and their families. A patient who, without you around, may not have had a hand to hold otherwise. A family member who, always grateful for your daily updates, would have been left with unanswered questions. A resident who would have been left all alone with the grueling, thought-provoking, and mind-bending task of writing a discharge summary. But in all seriousness, building these human connections with patients undoubtedly yielded some of the most valuable lessons we learned in medical school. I think back to my first patient and am reminded of an important lesson that is especially salient on a day like today. Mr. M was a tall, heavy-set Irish man in his late 60s whom I met on my very first day in the hospital. He and I developed a close relationship that spanned the course of a 6-week hospitalization with multiple ICU visits and probably one too many chocolate chip cookies from Oban Pen. Unfortunately, Mr. M didn't survive that hospitalization. I remember sitting with him and his wife in his room one Saturday afternoon shortly before he passed. It happened to be St. Patrick's Day, and Mr. M appropriately celebrated by donning himself with a bright green blanket and eating what he could of some homemade corned beef and cabbage. Just a day earlier, the doctors had told him that his numbers weren't looking good, and that if he wanted, it might be a good idea to have his loved ones come to say goodbye. And yet, here we were, Mr. M and Mrs. M telling me for the 4th time how Mr. M had asked a young Mrs. M out at a McDonald's in Brooklyn. To be honest, I didn't know how to process what I was feeling. I was sad that a patient whom I had grown close to was now dying. But at the same time, he and his wife still found space to celebrate, to laugh, and to appreciate all that life had given them. I know that today, the very real emotions of sadness and disappointment are present for many of us as the events surrounding our milestone achievements have been altered. What has made Cornell such a special place, in addition to our first-class education, are our first-class people, our community. And I wish we could have shared our celebrations with our community around us and with our loved ones by our side, because much of our success is due to the support of our family and friends we have back at home. So I'll ask again, what does it mean to experience becoming a physician on a day like today? I think it's precisely a day like today and the emotions that surround it that highlight one of the great challenges of being a doctor. To be able to have heartbreaking conversations with a patient and feel happiness and joy in that same space when necessary. Or to go from one patient room to the next, potentially experiencing vastly different emotions in each encounter and being truthfully empathetic. As physicians, we'll be faced with these situations many times over. And I hope that we allow ourselves to feel the breadth of emotions in these circumstances. So let's use this moment to celebrate. Despite the circumstances, we owe it to ourselves to be proud of just how long and how much we've worked since the time we decided to go to medical school. We did it. It's not the graduation day's events that earn us our degrees. It's everything we've done up to this point that has earned us our title, doctor. Doctors who will be entering the workforce in this particular moment in history with a tremendous opportunity to do good. What a privilege it is to join this group of essential workers who the world looks to for answers, care, and comfort. As we move into residency, I hope that we continue to do as we've done here, to zealously respond to calls for action, to find ways to improve the lives and health of all people, to be mindful thinkers, researchers, and caregivers, and to never lose sight of the humanity that makes us feel, both for our patients and for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. In our profession, there's an ancient custom that no one may be admitted to its honors who has not first expressly accepted its responsibilities as set forth in an oath. Therefore, on behalf of your elders, I now call upon the members of the medical college class to take, as we have before you, an oath that bears the name of Hippocrates. In the 2,000 years since its creation, the original Hippocratic Oath has been revised many times to reflect changes in the practice of medicine without abandoning our fundamental values. Here at Weill Cornell Medical College, a committee of faculty and students representatives met in 2005 to reconsider the Hippocratic Oath, recasting it to preserve the nobility and ancient traditions of our calling while addressing the contemporary challenges that we as physicians face in our work and in our lives. Since we cannot recite this together in person, please join me now in professing a commitment to the ethical principles expressed by this oath. I do solemnly vow to that which I value and hold most dear.
I do solemnly vow to that which I value and hold most dear, that I will honor the profession of medicine, be just and generous to its members, and help sustain them in their service to humanity. That just as I have learned from those who preceded me, so will I instruct those who follow me in the science and the art of medicine. That I will recognize the limits of my knowledge and pursue lifelong learning to better care for the sick and to prevent illness. That I will seek the counsel of others when they are more expert, so as to fulfill my obligation to those who are entrusted to my care. That I will not withdraw from my patients in their time of need. That I will lead my life and practice my art with integrity and honor, using my power wisely. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of my patients that is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep in confidence. That into whatever house I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick. That I will maintain the sacred trust, holding myself far aloof from wrong, from corrupting, from the tempting of others to vice. That above all else, I will serve the highest interests of my patients through the practice of my science and my art. That I will be an advocate for patients in need and strive for justice in the care of the sick. I now turn to my calling, promising to preserve its finest traditions with the reward of a long experience in the joy of healing. I make this vow freely and upon my honor.
Thank you, graduates. President Pollock, I have the honor to present these candidates who will fulfill the requirements and who are duly recommended by the faculty of Weill Cornell Medical College for the degree of Doctor of Medicine.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of Cornell University, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Medicine with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
I would like to now ask Dr. Yoon Kang, Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education, to present this year's graduating class.
Thank you, Dean Choi. It is my great honor to present to you the Weill Cornell Medical College graduating class of 2020. Brittany Tamar Abel, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society, Honors in Service. Kevin Saley Ackerman, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society, Honors in Service. Julio Andres Alvarez, Lily Patty Anderson, Lorenzo David Bean, Oren Shea Belden. Aaron Michael Block, with honors in research. Patrick O'Connor Bolin, with honors in research. John Butterworth. Anna Chaojun Kai, with honors in service. Jim Gonzalez Castellanos, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD-PhD Program graduate. Gustav Youngmin Cedarquist, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD-PhD Program graduate. Amanda Haley Saravalo, with honors in service. Kevin Chan. Angel Marie Charles, with honors in research. Rebecca Mengxin Chen. Michael Zhao Chang. Michael Anthony Chiok. Molly Irene Chodakowicz, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society, with honors in service. Carolyn Deborah Chung. Mary Cox. Francesca Rose Cox, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Eliza Rafaela Cricoliza, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Isabel Ariano Cuervo. Alexa Gilday David. Angelica Deschnik, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society, with honors in service. Laura Jean Deering. Patrick Thomas DiGregorio. Timothy Ryan Donahoe. Krista Alexandra Dubin, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD-PhD Program graduate. Shiying Fan, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD-PhD Program graduate. Jonathan Stephen Galati. Christopher Michael Gamboa. Joanna Gao. Alejandro Garcia. Ron Shlomo Gedgman, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD-PhD Program graduate. Shoki Goel. Catherine Gong. Raul Grover, with honors in research. Arpit Gupta. Ileana Gutierrez. Matthew Bruce Harrell. Diana He. Jeremy Singhing Ho. Tiffany Singh Huang. Yunhan Huang, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD-PhD Program graduate, with honors in service. Ruben Jaraguay, with honors in research. Lu Jin. Eugene Ju. Mitali Kini, with honors in research. Lisa Ruth Koenig. Daniel Oswaldo Lara. Dennis D. Lee. Anfei Lee, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD-PhD Program graduate. Andrea Yuling Liu, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Nathan John Liu. Christina Londono, with honors in service. Alejandro Ivan Lopez, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate. Tasher Andrew Lusenegger. Nicole Marie Luhe. Yevgenia Makovkina. Tegan Elizabeth Marshall, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Isaac Mayevsky. Andrew Robert Milevsky, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate with Honors in Service. Andrew Jacob Miller. Kevin Byung-hoon Oh. Hanli Ong. Paul Hyun-suk Beck. Srikanth Pulanissimi with Honors in Research. Latha Revathi Panchap, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Hyun Sung Park. Hudson Macon Pierce. Ryan Eugene Radwanski with Honors in Service. Kimberly Ann Rickman, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate. Christopher Lewis Robinson, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate. Daniel Benjamin Rosen, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate. Edwin Rosendo. Karina Nicole Ruiz Esteves with Honors in Service. Barbara Elena Segun. Arish Samadi with Honors in Research. Elizabeth Rose Salvaggio. William Dewey Shipman, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate. Michael Philip Sedaris. Jason Nathaniel Silberman, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Mohammed Ahmed Solomon with Honors in Research. Laura Perez Soriano. Amy Yuan Sun. Harry Sun, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society with Honors in Research. Umberto Tosi with Honors in Research. Stephanie E. Tsai, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Manik Dutt Upal with Honors in Research. Francesca Alexandra Voza. Sven Joshua Waldrick, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society with Honors in Research. Daniel Raitsi Wang, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Diana Grace Wang, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate. Wendy Meidan Wong, Weill Cornell Rockefeller Sloan Kettering Tri-Institutional MD PhD Program Graduate. Donovan Reese White. Sophie White, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Catherine Hermanson Wilcox. James Patrick Weinbrake. Graham Miller Winston, Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. Richmond Lee Manning Woodward. Chiajing Xia, with honors in research. Ayan Yunus, with honors in research. Michelle Youngju Yoon, with honors in research. Christina Marie Zecca. David Tenbai Zhang. Eric Yisei Zhang. Lisa Tiantian Zhang. I'm delighted to present to you the entire graduating class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Kang, and congratulations to all our graduates. To present the Weill Cornell Medical College Alumni Award of Distinction, I welcome Dr. Natasha Leibel, President of the Weill Cornell Medical College Alumni Association.
Thank you, Dean Choi. Each year, the Alumni Association honors one alumnus who has demonstrated outstanding achievement in research, education, or patient care with the Award of Distinction. Established in 1949, this award recognizes one alumnus for his or her contributions to the field of medicine, as well as the acclaim that he or she has brought to our institution. It's therefore my great pleasure as the president of the Alumni Association Board of Directors to introduce this year's honoree, Dr. Henry Mazur. Dr. Mazur is Chief of Critical Care Medicine at the National Institutes of Health with a focus on HIV and the infectious complications of critical illness. He received his medical degree from Weill Cornell Medical College in 1972, did his residency in internal medicine at New York Presbyterian and the Johns Hopkins Hospital, and completed a fellowship in infectious diseases at Weill Cornell Medicine. While in his first year as an assistant professor at Weill Cornell Medicine, Dr. Mazur treated a patient with a unique presentation of pneumocystis pneumonia. The experience led him to author one of 3 peer-reviewed articles in the New England Journal of Medicine that first described the syndrome now known as AIDS. Shortly after, in 1981, Dr. Anthony Fauci recruited Dr. Mazur to join the NIH and launch a research program investigating this new syndrome. Dr. Mazur did much of the early work defining the management of AIDS-related opportunistic infections. He has been the Chief of Critical Care Medicine at the NIH Clinical Center since 1989 and is the founder and current co-editor of the NIH CDC Infectious Disease Society of America Guidelines on Management of HIV-related Opportunistic Infections. His NIH group spearheaded the initial US trials of direct-acting antiviral treatment for hepatitis C virus, which has dramatically improved the success of HCV management. Dr. Mazur is a past president of the Infectious Diseases Society of America and the co-chair of the NIH COVID-19 Treatment Guideline with Roy Gulick, Chief of the Division of Infectious Diseases here at Weill Cornell Medicine. This year, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services honored Dr. Henry Mazur for his contributions to the well-being of the nation with the Hubert H. Humphrey Award for Service to America. I am honored to bestow the 2020 Award of Distinction to Dr. Henry Mazur. I have no doubt that his achievements will continue to shape the future of medicine and inspire new generations of physicians to come. And now, I'm pleased and honored to introduce a special video message from Weill Cornell Medicine alum, Dr. Tony Fauci.
Born in New York City, Dr. Anthony Fauci began his medical career at Weill Cornell Medicine. Graduating in 1966 at the head of his class, he was appointed chief resident in the Department of Medicine at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center. Within 2 years of graduating, he was already on his way to becoming one of the most well-known and influential immunologists in the world when he began his work at the National Institute of Health. Since 1984, Dr. Fauci has been director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a tenure spanning 6 presidential administrations. Among his many distinguished accomplishments, he is a recipient of the Weill Cornell Alumni Award of Distinction and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and currently serves on the White House Coronavirus Task Force. Since his graduation, Dr. Fauci has returned to Weill Cornell Medicine many times to offer his medical and scientific expertise to our students, faculty, and fellow alumni. Now, in these extraordinary times, we're incredibly grateful to have him join us again today for a special message to the graduating class of 2020.
Warm greetings to you all from Bethesda, Maryland. My name is Tony Fauci, and I'm the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health. My other day job, there are no nights anymore, is as a member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force. I am wearing both hats today, and although I am unable to be with you in person, I am delighted to have this opportunity to address the class of 2020 of the Weill Cornell Medical College. I also want to welcome all who are joining this celebration: administrators, faculty, and staff, and your family and friends. I feel honored and enthusiastic to offer encouragement and gratitude to this particular class of graduates. The world as we knew it has recently been totally upended by an unprecedented global pandemic, a truly historic event that has unsettled every aspect of our lives, including your graduation. I know that celebrating your accomplishment in this disconnected way, without the in-person support of friends, teachers, and fellow students, must feel disheartening, to say the least. However, looked at another way, the international medical community are the people rising daily to meet this challenge. And as new minted graduates of Cornell, you will be leaders in this effort. Now more than ever, we need your talent, your energy, your resolve, and your character. Some of you will be the physicians and/or healthcare providers caring for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. Others of you will be the biomedical researchers elucidating how SARS coronavirus 2 causes disease, or you will be developing medical solutions, diagnostics, treatments, and vaccines. With the outstanding medical training you have had at Weill Cornell, I am certain that some of you will be innovators, collaborators, and leaders in the struggle. However, directly or indirectly, it is inevitable that all of you will experience in some way the extraordinary impact of this pandemic on your newly emerging medical careers, regardless of the direction you take. I had the great fortune to receive my MD from Cornell University Medical College in 1966. Although I did not fully appreciate it at the time, the path I took after graduating medical school, including my internship, residency, and chief residency in internal medicine at the New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center, and my infectious disease training at NIH, prepared me well for the unexpected events that have shaped my career. HIV/AIDS, pandemic influenza, Ebola, Zika, and now the novel coronavirus. In this regard, I often advise students to be open to opportunities that unexpectedly present themselves. I remember clearly when I was at NIH in the early 1980s that the recognition of a new virus, later named HIV, caused me to make an abrupt turn in my own career. Only decades later could I adequately reflect on how enormous an impact that virus has had on the global community. We are currently in a similar period of uncertainty. We have no clear idea of how this COVID-19 pandemic will further evolve or what its ultimate impact will be. Will we have a second wave similar to the second wave of the catastrophic influenza pandemic of 1918? If so, will we be prepared to adequately respond? Regardless of your future medical specialty or area of focus, we as a medical and public health community must face this pandemic together. All of us will be doing our part to overcome this challenge, not only as medical professionals, but as individuals, as members of families, and as connected participants in society. A staggering number of lives have been lost in just a few months. The healthcare systems in certain cities and regions of our country have come perilously close to being overrun, and our return to some form of normality will be neither fast nor easy. We will get through this, however, and undoubtedly you will be in the vanguard showing us how, drawing on your dedication to excellence, exceptional patient care, and collaborative research and discovery that were the pillars of your medical education at Cornell. And so, my colleagues in the Weill Cornell Medical College class of 2020, congratulations, stay safe, and do good work. I look forward to the many contributions you will make to medical science and patient care in decades to come, and in so many areas that ultimately will transcend the current challenge of COVID-19.
To all our graduates, on behalf of Weill Cornell Medicine, I wish you the very best in all your future endeavors. You join a long line of distinguished alumni who have made many important contributions to medicine, science, and society. We're incredibly proud of you, and we look forward to hearing about all that you will achieve as Weill Cornell graduates. Many, many congratulations. Now, go make us proud.
We now invite you to join our talented music and medicine performers in singing the Cornell alma mater.
With its waves of blue, stands our noble alma mater, glorious to view. With the chorus speeded onward, loud her praises tell. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, oh, hail Cornell.
I invite you to join me in prayer. May God's blessing follow you all as you find new journeys to travel. May you follow your dreams to become all that you are created to be. May you walk courageously while pursuing unknown paths. May you notice God's gentle guidance in the decisions you make and in the passions that you follow. May your hearts and lives always reflect love and truth. And may hope be a light within you that you carry into each new day for each person in your care. Amen.
This concludes the commencement ceremonies. Congratulations to all the graduates.
I was doing just fine before I met you. Drink too much and that's an issue, but I'm okay. Hey, you tell your friends it was nice to meet them, but I hope I never see them again. I know it breaks your heart. Moved to a city in a broke down car and 4 years, no calls. Now you're looking pretty in a hotel bar, and I can't stop. No, I can't stop. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Bite that tattoo on your shoulder. Pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. We ain't ever getting older. We ain't ever getting older. We ain't ever getting older.
Look as good as the day I met you. I forget just why I left you. I was insane. Stay and play that Blink-182 song that we beat to death in Tucson. Okay. I know it breaks your heart. Moved to the city in a broke down car and 4 years no call. Now I'm looking pretty in a hotel bar, and I can't stop. No, I can't stop.
So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Bite that tattoo on your shoulder. Pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. We ain't ever getting older. We ain't ever getting older. We ain't ever getting older. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Bite that tattoo on your shoulder. Pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. We ain't ever getting